Hello again, everyone. All right, here we go then. Are we speaking now? Should we speak Arabic or English? I'm happy to speak Arabic, of course. But these two sentences, if you don't mind, in English. Okay, let's see how this whole thing works. Okay. Good morning to you all once again, and I am deeply honored to be standing here among you today to speak about the future of knowledge as a fundamental component in the process of economic and social planning. And what exactly do knowledge markets mean? Firstly, as you can clearly observe, there is indeed a very strong correlation between the knowledge index and the human development index. What is referred to as the regression coefficient, which indicates the strength or weakness of the relationship between the human development index and the knowledge index, is extremely strong. I mean, when it is zero, this indicates a very powerful and strong bond of interconnectedness. So, what does that mean? It means that nations which achieve higher rates of knowledge-based economic diversification are precisely those that attain superior human development rates. This is a fundamental principle in any economic and social planning, if we truly wish to achieve a high human development index. As you know, the Human Development Index is a composite indicator of health, education, and economic standing. It represents the individual's share of the national income. Therefore, we must work to enhance the index of economic diversification and knowledge. The Knowledge Index now. This is the importance of this conference and project, as it provided us with a knowledge index to measure its relationship with other indicators. Measuring the relationship with the Economic Diversification Index, measuring the relationship with the Human Development Index and other competitiveness indicators. This is an extremely significant matter. We have previously mentioned, in this forum and elsewhere, that the issue of competitiveness and productivity is one of the main issues facing the Arab economy today. The Arab economy is like the rest of the economies in the world. Anyone who read Mr. Draghi's recent report on the European economy also complains about weak productivity.
Poor productivity 1980. Productivity is linked with the knowledge and is linked with economic diversity and thus linked with the Human Development Index. Thinking about the development thinking, which does not correlate and combine all such indices, will not be an effective development thinking. So two main indices. The first one is the correlation between the knowledge, the global knowledge index and the human development index, which is quite strong correlation, and it's also between the economic diversity index, and which expresses or which reflects how successful the economy is in just staying away from relying on one economy or one commodity and increasing competitiveness in this type of economy. Well, if we want to benchmark the size of our region in the Human Development Index, we can find that we are a little bit better than India. So in the Arab region, naturally, this average, there are some countries in advancement. Some countries have achieved the but in overall in the Arab region, we are a little bit better than India and a little bit worse than the global average. So what is the most important effective method to accelerate our human development and for the correlation that the most successful one is just to move forward of the knowledge economy, which will achieve a tangible moves in the Human Development Index. And we can note also that our position in terms of the economic development or diversity index is not the best all over the world. We are in general a region relying on only one product, which is oil. Despite the fact that we have lots of economic factors, however, we still rely on which two main factors: agriculture and oil, and the agriculture, which is just like which is based on just which is based on. So our economy is based on two things where prices are volatile and fluctuating, sometimes ups and downs because of the rain, because of the oil prices. That's why planning for a stable economic future is quite difficult, because we are still relying on these two sectors, which are practical, impractical, not just not to be counting on as all times. What are the knowledge markets, and why do we need the knowledge markets? We are in need of knowledge markets because without markets we can never measure knowledge, and knowledge cannot be transferred to a veins of economy. Just it remains just standing still at the universities and research centers. However, if we do not find a mechanism or a purchaser for this knowledge to be translated into a higher economic value, which is the private sector, which will purchase this knowledge to increase their productivity and competitiveness, which is the private sector. So if we do not reach a stage where the private sector is interested in investing knowledge to increase their competitiveness and productivity, so we will never be able to change the indices that we have already pointed out. Well, the economic structure in the Arab nations in general, which a great public sector and a narrow private sector, formal private sector, and informal private sector in a wide range. How can the informal private sector to increase their their competitiveness and for research and development? They cannot do that alone. So these are structure issues in economy. We have to transfer for the knowledge transformation. We have to establish the knowledge market. And in order to do that, they have to be supply and demand. We have to invest in research and development, and there must be a high demand on knowledge by the dynamic and effective economy, asking for knowledge and investing on it. If any company does not see that purchasing, development, and research will not lead to competitiveness or productivity, or if there is monopoly in the market, so there will be no need for competitiveness, all such things need to be reconsidered and rethought. So because it's just like correlation or interdisciplinary, cross-disciplinary, cross-sectoral thinking outside the box, or thinking what do we do with industry by itself? The knowledge market is just a multi-sectoral project. So we have to have like a system for knowledge productivity and exchange knowledge, and to increase or enhance knowledge. So our Prophet Muhammad Ali, everything is decreased except for science. He put a foundation for knowledge. The only he said the only thing that increases by its consumption is science. Anything else can be decreased by consumption. Oil, water can be decreased through consumption, except for science. Science is the only thing that can be increased by its consumption. So whenever two people competing each other and for knowledge, so the amount of knowledge will increase and will not be decreased. Can we establish a knowledge economy based on that? This is our duty in front of humanity and history to work on that foundation or basis. So there is a knowledge market, but however there is a role for the governments for knowledge. Who regulates, who controls the competitiveness of knowledge? who can control the all parties of economies, not to monopolizing parties, who can control or regulate the justice or the fairness of all such knowledge, so that we cannot have a solid polarization between those who have and those who do not have. This is such a great issue because sometimes there is just a few a category of people who have the knowledge and enjoy it, whether at the level of each country individually or in the region or the worldwide. Now, AI is such a great impact, but it threatens to increase gaps between the advanced countries and the countries that are still struggling, as Mrs. Ripika said, that 2.6 billion people are not connected to the internet. So it does not have to do anything. They do not have anything to do with AI or knowledge or any benefits based on coming from or produced from the AI. I'm not gonna talk a lot. We are in need of producing knowledge through these scientific research centers, and now I need to say something very simple. Investing in research and development requires what we call the economies of scale. Our economies, our largest economies in the region are still limited to justify the investment required in research and development. I don't know whether this idea you can understand it. We are in need of investing in research and development for trillions of dollars, and our national economies might seem big for us, but according to the global index, they still remain a small one. As you know, that from Morocco to Bahrain, like $5 trillion only for investment, which is the capital value for only one company, the capital investment, including our agriculture, population, our oil. We are just equal to one company revenues. So that's why in order to have a great law for competitiveness and diversity, we have to invest with a great great amounts of funds in research and development. Such investment requires just like multiple. So we have to avail or to provide great economies. So the regional integrity is quite important. So whoever investing in the United Arab Emirates should know that Morocco, Tunisia are great. India are also markets, because thinking on one country will never be feasible. So let's take the EU as an example. Imagine Germany, no matter how big economy, they don't have nuclear studies. They have the Nuclear Studies European Center, the CRN, or CERN, because you can imagine Germany finds that their economy is less than working on developing and searching in crucial and sensitive issues. So how about us? So producing knowledge, exchanging knowledge. So do we have today? The question is, do we have today? If if a young man who can work a project on his or her cell phone, a project. Do we have a bank in the region can fund this project? Because they will tell him what are the guarantees, how can we ensure, how can we guarantee our rights? Well, and he says, my project is just on phone. So the trading or the pricing mechanism or the supply and demand requirements are still missing. And of course, applying or implementing this knowledge, are the companies ready to purchase and implement, whether in the private sector or in the public sector, such projects? And also the governance of knowledge. Is it monopolized? Is it publicized? Is it available for everybody? And such type of other issues. Of course, it is just to conclude my presentation now today. We are in a world talking about AI at larger scale, and AI will impact everybody, not only in the Arab region. 55 job opportunities will be affected, whether positively or negatively. Whether we will be losing 55 million positions, or we will gain or win 55 million job opportunities. It depends on our preparedness and readiness. Are we ready to get involved in the adventure of AI to create 55 million new job positions or job offers, or can we stand still, passive? Now in the United Arab Emirates, in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, in Egypt, in Morocco, we have achieved a lot, but we have not yet achieved an effort, a shared effort, including the whole region. The Arab region, through the AI, can increase its GDP in the Arab region. $200 billion. So such an investment will be fruitful and feasible. If I investment in AI, I can get GDP $200 billion. This is quite feasible. If we calculate on the individual price, I just pay $100 and I get a return or a revenue of $200. So it's a great investment. But the question now, will it lead of increasing competitiveness? Will the whole community benefit, or will they be monopolized by some people? And also the AI will contribute in the Arab economy by a turnover, by just like economic trading opportunities, by $700 billion, which is not bad. Therefore, I conclude my speech now. I want to say that the UNDP and Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Knowledge Foundation have now launched a new project titled the Knowledge Policies Center. Such a center is the only place where all such factors I have mentioned will be studied in one place, under one umbrella. And all such expertise and experiences will be provided to all Arab nations and non-Arab nations. It's quite important and essential, because if I ask you now, if I need to go to a certain place or one place to study all such topics, where can I go? There is no place, there is no umbrella under beneath. So we have agreed that, God willing, to establish the Knowledge Policy Center with our historic partners, Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Knowledge Foundation, and this center will benefit from the great effort over the past 10 years. The Knowledge Index, the Knowledge Academy, the Skills Academy, and other, as well as other, as mentioned by Mr. Jamal Hawari, will be having new surprises that will be announced before the conclusion of this conference. Sorry for taking long, and thank you so much.